Good morning, Year 5. Today we are going to be dividing and our answers are going to have remainders, okay? So the first thing we are going to do is we are going to have a look at the question 420 divided by 4. And as well as having the formal method, we are also going to have the place value grid to help us see what is going on, okay? How the exchange happens and what happens when we do an exchange in our number. So, as you know, we start with the highest place value column. So in this case, it's 100, the hundreds column. So we have got 4 divided by 4. So I need to find out how many groups of 4 I have got in my hundreds column. So I'm going to group them like this. So I can see I've got one group of 4, okay? So above my 4 in my hundreds column, I am going to put a 1. I have got one group. Then we are going to move on to our tens column. But we can see that we have only got 2 tens. And I can't make a group out of that because I'm trying to make groups of 4. So what I can do is I can cross out one of the tens. And that will become 10 ones. Then I cross out the other 2. And that again will become another set of 10. So my 2 tens have become 20 ones. Okay, then I can make my groups of 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can see I've got 5 groups of 4. So how would that look over here? As we saw, we haven't got any groups in this tens column because we couldn't do anything with it. So we would put a 0 in our tens column. Then we would take this 2 and we would exchange it into our 1. So we would put a 2 next to our 0 to show us we have 20 ones, which is what we made here. And we saw we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of 4 from that 20 to give us a 5 above our ones column. So 20 divided by 4 gave us 5. Okay? Let's have a go at another one. This time I would like you to try and do it yourself before I give you the answer and show you how to do it. Okay, so pause the video, have a go, and then come back to me here. Okay, so this time we have got 5,257 divided by 4. And we've got our place value grid to help us. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find my group of 4 in my thousands column. So I have got 1, but I can't make any more. So let me show you what will happen. So above my formal, in my formal method, above my 5, I will put 1 because I've got one group of 4. And then this I'm going to exchange and put it into my hundreds column, okay? And it will become 10 hundreds. So 1,000 will become 10 hundreds. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, and how would that look over here? So I've got my group of 4 already accounted for, so I'm just exchanging my 1. So as you can see, we have now got 12 hundreds. So now I'm doing 12 divided by 4. So I'm going to look for my groups of 4 in my hundreds column. So I've got 1, 2, 3. So as you can see, I have got 3 in my hundreds column. So like we did before, we're going to put a 3 over our hundreds. Okay. Then we're going to move on to our tens column. Again, we are looking for groups of 4. We are doing 5 divided by 4 this time. So I have got one group of 4. And again, I've got 1 left over. So I'm going to cross out that 10. That 10. And I'm going to make it into 10 ones. Like that. Okay? And then I need to represent that on the formal method. So I've got one group of 10 there. So I've got my 1. And then I needed to carry my 10 over into my 1s column. So I carry the 1 to make 17 1s. Okay? Then I'm going to find my groups of 4. So I've got 1, 2, 3. We'll have to pretend that's all one group. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then here you can see I've got 1 left over, okay? So let me show you what happens. I've got 4 groups in 17. You would know that because you could do 4 times 4, which would give you 16, which would give you 1 left over. And I can't go anywhere with that. I can't exchange it because I've got no more numbers. So that 1 would become my remainder. So at the end of my answer, I would put R1 to show me I have 1 left over. So 5,257 divided by 4 is 1,314, remainder 1. Okay? This time I would like you to have a go, but I would like you to do it without the place value grid. So you are just doing the formal method this time. So have a pause of this video, have a go, and then we will go through it together. Okay, so this time I am doing just formal, so I'm doing 5,185 divided by 3. So I am looking for groups of 3 in my numbers, and I'll give you a hint. Using your times tables will help you a lot here, okay? So I'm going to do 5 divided by 3. From my 3 times tables, I know that the next number, if I did my 3 times tables, I would have 3, 6. And that would give me 2 groups. However, 5 is smaller than 6, so I can't use the 6. I would have to use the 3. So I have got 1 group in my 5. Let me show you what I mean. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I can get a group of 3, just 1. Okay? So I can exchange 2 into my hundreds column. Then we can use our 3 times tables to work out how many groups we've got in our hundreds column. So we are going to count in our 3 times tables together. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21. And you should find that that gives you 7 groups of 3. So to do 21 divided by 3 would give you 7. Okay? Then next we've got 8 divided by 3. So I know that 2 3s go into 8. If I went to 3 3s, that would be too many because that would give me 9. So I've got 2 times 3 gives me 6. So from 6 to 8 is 2 more, so I need to exchange those 2 into my 1s column. So now I've got 25 3s, okay? Sorry, 25 1s that I need to divide by 3. So again, I can do my times tables, and this time I'm going to write them out so you can see them. So I've got 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, all the way to 10, okay? So we can see that 25 lies between these two numbers here, 24 and 27. So we can see we can't go to 27 because we haven't got enough ones to do that. So I have to stop at 24, which would give me 8 groups, okay? Because 3 times 8 is 24, so I've got 8 groups. But that would leave me a remainder of 1. So if I find the difference between 25 and 24, that would be 1. So that is my remainder. So 5,185 divided by 3 is 1,728, remainder 1. Okay? Let's look at the next one. So this one has taken our answer from our last question and now it has applied it to some problem solving questions, okay? So it says, there are 5,185 pencils. A box holds 3 pencils. How many full boxes are there? So what it is asking you to do is to do this calculation here that we've already done. 5,185 divided by 3. We are sharing those pencils into boxes, okay? So, how many full boxes are there? Well, I can see this remainder isn't going to make a full box because I need 3 to make a full box. So I can ignore my remainder for this question, and the amount of full boxes I have are 1,728. Okay. How many are left over? So that is my remainder. I have got 1 left over. Okay. There are 5,185 pencils. A box holds 3 pencils. How many boxes are needed to hold all of the pencils? So this time I am including this 1, okay? They want that 1 pencil to go in a box. So I need to round that up. So instead of having 1,728 boxes, I actually need 1,729 boxes to make sure that 1 pencil is in its box. Okay? This time I would like you to have a go of this. So you need to find out whether they leave a remainder or they don't leave a remainder. Okay? So, let's have a look. We can look at the numbers and figure out whether they are going to leave us with a remainder without working out anything. Okay? So let's have a look here. 3,333 divided by 4. If you think about the 4 times table, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, okay, we can see they all end in an even number, okay, but 3,333 ends in an odd number, and it is an odd number all the way through. So we can pretty much guarantee that that is going to leave a remainder, okay, because if it wasn't, it would have an even number, or it might have an even number. So we know that 3,333 divided by 4 divided by 4 would leave a remainder. Okay, and then we can do the same with this one. We've got 1,266 divided by 5. Let's think about our 5 times tables. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. The 5 times tables all end in a 0 or a 5. However, this number ends in a 6. So 5 is not going to go exactly into this number. So I've got 1,266 divided by 5. Okay? And then I can think about this one. I can work out that 6,000 is a multiple of 6. So if I continued with my multiplication of 6 up until 6,000, I would know that is a multiple of 6. I've done 6 times 1,000, okay, to get 6,000. And 6 is a multiple of 6, so I can tell that 6,006 is 1,001 times 6. Okay, let me show that to you. 1,001 multiplied by 6. So I've got 6 times 1 is 6. 6 times 0 is 0. 6 times 0 is 0. Then I've got 6 times 1 is 6. So we know that 6 would go exactly in this into this number, so it would not leave a remainder. Okay? So we have thought about our multiples this time and the patterns we have got in our multiplication in our times tables. Okay? So today, if you are doing silver, you are doing questions 1 and 2. Gold, you're doing questions 3 to 5. Platinum, you are doing questions 6 to 8. If you need any more help, please let Mrs. Willis and I know, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. If you need a handy hint, you might want to write down your times tables if that will help you. However, some of you might be able to do that in your head. And that's it from me. Again, let us know if you need any help and we will get back to you as soon as we can.